Hi, my name is Allie. The presentation that I have for you today is the me, myself, and I. I did 3 personality tests. I did 5 love languages. I did the Myers-Briggs personality test. I did the True Colors personality test, and I also interviewed 3 people in my family, my mom, my dad, my sister, to determine what my personality actually is like. And then we're going to talk about some course concepts that follow after. So, for my love languages test, I got my primary love language as acts of service, which makes complete sense because I am busy all the time, and if someone can just lighten my load and do a little something for me, it really makes a huge difference to me, and it really helps me out, and it means so much. So I'm always grateful for that. The least preferable love language that I got was physical touch, which totally adds up to my sensory issues because I do get overload quite often with my neurodivergency. I really don't enjoy physical touch that much. For my results for my Myers-Briggs test, I got ENFP, which is the campaigner. They're often known as being energetic, curious, adaptable, humorous, and people-oriented, which all pretty much adds up except for the extroverted part, because it does say a lot of people do tend to be extroverted, but I flip-flop in between. It just depends on my mood, if I'm masking, the situation, the company that's present, all of that. Or the situation that I'm in is I might just be mirroring the chaos that I'm feeling on the inside, whereas I'm not truly being the reclusive self that I want to be in that moment. For my True Colors test, this one was actually surprising. I got the color blue, and that was kind of worrisome for me because I wasn't entirely sure if that was bad or depressing. But it turns out that they is mostly empathy, intuition, emotional awareness, and helping others, which also pretty much aligns with my personality. And I think that its take on being extroverted and being introverted at the same time simultaneously is a lot more accurate than the Myers-Briggs test because I do flip-flop. So the overall theme for all 3 results were that I'm very expressive, I'm very relational, and I'm adaptable, curious, and emotional, which I am, and that's okay. So for my interview, I asked 3 questions. I said to my mom, my dad, and my sister the same 3 questions. How would you describe my personality to somebody that's never met me? How would you describe my personality in just 5 words? And what would you warn someone about me that has never met me? So for my dad, he said mostly his interview summary was that I'm vivacious, dramatic, friendly, talkative, strong-willed. Ooh, I'm zooming in. And persuasive. And he also warns that I talk too much and then I get fixated on my ideas and hyper-focused. My mom said that I'm very casual, assertive, dependable, that I'm a helper, a problem solver. She warns that I am tenacious, overly curious, argumentative, and I value my time. So for my sister, hers is a little bit more in depth. She says I'm versatile, witty, goofy, and experimental. She said that I am inquisitive along with my mom, who also said I was inquisitive, and that I'm always drawn to learning and wanting to learn and gain knowledge. Learns constantly, adaptable. She warns that I need patience from others because I change my mind quickly and I am also very honest with myself and my emotions, and I have emotional transparency, which not everyone can handle, and that's okay. So for my first course concept, I wanted to cover self-concept. My self-concept is expressive, curious, emotional, helper. The interviews match all of those qualities really well, and the differences that I found were the assertiveness and the confidence. Others see that more than I do, which I thought was really interesting. The second course concept that I wanted to cover was reflected appraisal. So others say that I am helpful, dependable, emotional, adaptable. I hear that often, and it's actually become part of my self-concept. The negative feedback that I did request was that I'm talkative, argumentative, and fixated. I show blind spots that I don't always see in that situation, and those and what that covers. For my third course concept was the social comparison. I compare myself to more organized and calm people, but internally I am literally mirroring the chaos that's just constantly surrounding me. It makes me underestimate my confidence in my leadership, even though I'm drawn to just taking over, and I just want to be a leader. So the interviews and the tests don't really compare. They see the strengths more clearly for this situation. For my fourth course concept, perception checking. So my dad says that I'm very dramatic, and he clarified that as being expressive and comedic, and I unknowingly become the center of attention even though I really don't want to. My mom makes a great point in her interview saying that I don't like when others make me the subject of conversation when I'm not present to defend myself, which is so accurate. If anyone talks about me, I get very nervous. For my mom, she says that I'm more inquisitive and very helpful, and she clarifies that with a few examples. For my sister, she says that I'm very unhinged, and she clarified that as being very goofy and experimental and just trying to rein in people into the party by my personality and just energetic nature. So I think that checking with that really prevents misinterpretation. But my fifth course concept is the halo effect, because I'm seen as more empathetic and people assume that I'm patient and helpful, which I try to be. I really do try to put others before myself, because I would really want someone to do the same thing for me. And so I'm kind of one of those people that feels like if I want to be treated a certain way, I'm going to do that for others. If I want someone to be there for me unexpectedly, I would like to do that for others. And I think those positive traits spill into other assumptions as well about my personality. So I don't know if I'm in full agreement of all the personality tests, but I do think that everything pretty much lines up. I agree that I'm expressive, humorous, curious, and adaptable, that I'm driven by relationships and being empathetic and intuitive and just self-aware of other people's perceptions and their feelings, and that I'm pretty emotionally transparent, because I tend to be a little bit sensitive emotionally, and I try to be true to myself when it comes to my emotions. So the stuff that I mostly disagree with were the assertiveness and the confidence that people were saying that I have, but I think that can be explained by the self-concept and the social comparison as well. So in conclusion, I really think that my identity is just a mix of internal beliefs and external feedback in general, based off of what this project did. I don't agree with all of it. I don't think a test can really tell you who you are. I think that everyone's variable based off of their life experiences and the traumas in their past and what's shaped them. So, but I'm happy I did it.